Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of Beer Bros. I'm Nick and this is Keith.
And I'm Keith and this is Nick.
Let's get the day going. So today we're going to go ahead and try out our first beer brat, and it's going to be based upon the Saint Arnold Santo.
Saint Arnold's entered a partnership with Farmland, which is a company up north of us, not in Texas, but they sent their chef up there to take some of their beers and come up with a recipe for them that could be used in a brat.
So they're molding together Farmland product and Saint Arnold beer.
It's basically a beer brat collaboration.
For tasty goodness for the state of Texas, basically.
Exactly. And they can be found in our local chain of grocery stores, H-E-B and Central Market.
This ought to be awesome, guys. Let's try this out. Can't wait.
So, first one we have is Santo.
Thank you, sir. And for those of you interested in what the beer looks like that went into this brat, I'm holding it up here. It should taste very similar to an ale. Is that correct?
You should be able to taste the influence of the ale on it. The Santo it's a darker beer.
And Keith, you're kind enough to include onions and bell peppers with our lovely concoction today. This reminds me of a Chicago style dog that I had, and that's just one of my favorites of all time. What are your feelings and opinions on condiments?
It depends on what you're doing.
Mustard, ketchup?
If it's a little bit of mustard, in this case I would have used a bit of Dijon if I had any.
Okay.
And I didn't want to detract from the actual experience of tasting the beer influenced brat in the first place. So we sort of leaned against that this time, but I don't mind certain condiments as long as they're not overpowering. Sometimes that what you're eating is just a method of getting more condiment into your mouth, and I don't think that should be the case. It should be what you're eating should be what you want to get in your mouth.
That's the point. All right, let's try it, Keith.
Give it a smell. Smells bratty.
I'm digging, waiting to get into this.
So clinky, eaty?
Yeah, clinky, eaty. You can really get into that flavor once you start getting the caramelized onions and the bell peppers combined with the brat. Has an awesome flavor.
And I did make these in the beer, which is why we've got 2 empty beer bottles now.
Sweet. So would you mix these with a different kind of beer, or would you keep the same beer that they were originally brewed with?
I think you strive to keep the same beer.
Same type of beer.
If you're going to do that. Okay. If you're going to grill it, of course, then it doesn't matter. But if you're actually going to prepare it in the double boiler with the broth and the onions and stuff, then you would indeed want to use the same beer.
Okay. So again, what did you think of the flavor, Keith?
It was good. I'm not sure if I can get a strong sense of the beer in it.
Yeah, I was kind of the same way. I had a lot of the pepper and onion and the toasted bread, and I didn't really catch a whole lot of beer in there. I had a little sliver that was left over, and I tasted that, and that had more of the beer flavor than the original bite. The first bite was kind of mainly the extras that went into it, and that's kind of why I was asking you about the condiments.
Okay.
If you really want to test the beer and test what it is, it might be a better idea just to eat it like steak or something. Just cut it in, serve it on a cracker if you want to absorb the taste. So I was definitely impressed with it. It's something I'll be throwing on the grill later on this summer when it warms up.
Okay, sounds good.
For now, I think that's pretty much what we have for today. Tune in Wednesday when we go over our second beer brat. Catch you guys Wednesday. Until then, Beer Bros out.